Our job is legislation, because I know someone asked about our job. Our job, could you let me finish more? Because I'm right now is not the time. Let me finish. So, as the legislative branch, our job is to oversee the finances and to create ordinances. That's our job.
Because of course everybody was prepped to say whatever they had to say today. For somebody to sit here and say the resources that we're taking away, for one, we have exceeded and over exceeded the budget that was initially put in. Y'all have to stop saying it's politics. It's not politics. This is reality. Have you looked at the bank account lately? Do you know how much money is in there?
It's not your job to tell me what to say. 22,000 residents, when they voted, they gave me permission to say whatever I decide to say in this seat. And that's what you do not understand. You sit up here with these smoke and mirrors. This is not a dictatorship. You're not Putin, and this is not Russia. This is a democracy.
What's going on, soloyaker here? Well, just when you thought it doesn't get too much deeper, it gets a little deeper. This, what we're about to watch, this is the ex-chief of police that Supermare decided she wanted to fire. So I'm gonna let him speak for himself on this.
We needed those officers to be on the street fighting crime, and instead we have several officers that are riding around protecting the mayor.
The former police chief in South Suburban Dalton is speaking out for the first time to just one station about Mayor Tiffany Henyard's controversial police security detail and how it impacted his ability to fight crime.
The manpower was just very stressed and critical to the point of almost breaking.
Former Dalton Police Chief Robert Collins spoke to us from Florida, where he's taken a new job after being fired by Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard late last year.
Yeah, you heard that right. The ex-chief is now here in Florida. For anybody out there, if there's a way that you can possibly find out where this guy works, I would love to know. They don't say where he's working in Florida. So he moved from Dalton and came to Florida, and I'm guessing he's a cop again. So, but this is good. It's going to get better. Hold on.
But Collins says he remains frustrated by what he experienced leading an undermanned, overworked police department, while Mayor Henyard demanded a large personal security detail.
You know, wrong is wrong, and there's a time to hold people responsible and accountable for their action. But at some point, there would be 2 officers or 3 officers, and depending on if there was some type of event, it would be more officers.
Yeah, she just thinks that she is some kind of like God or something, and she needs all these police to protect her because she's a single black mother, and I've never heard of anything like this for a council member, ever, or for a mayor or whatever.
Collins says Henyard frequently uses the officers as her personal valets.
Officers would be sent out to run errands, to do pickups. But Village of Dalton has its challenges with gangs, guns, and drugs. And if those officers aren't there, the visibility isn't there. And if the visibility isn't there, then criminals have free reign.
So now that they're very short-handed, she's using all these cops for her own personal whatever, because she's got to have that sense of gratification or that sense of importance. And, you know, the citizens are suffering. If the police aren't there, the bad guys, they're gonna use it to their ability. But nah, not for Tiffany. We can't have that.
And it more or less was, these are the orders. This is what you have to do.
Last week, Collins filed a civil lawsuit against the Village of Dalton for wrongful termination, saying he was fired by the mayor without cause and without board approval because his wife is friends with some of the mayor's perceived political enemies.
And our contention is that it is illegal.
Did he do anything wrong?
No. Chief Collins, any position that he's ever been in is a policeman's policeman. He held the rank of chief, but he's a patrolman at heart.
But it is frustrating to see the officers used like that. I'm sure the officers are frustrated too, but they following orders.
All right. So now you've heard from the ex-chief that got fired by Tiffany Henyard. We're going to get into this council meeting. And if you saw the last council meeting, how chaotic it was, well, this is now the sitting chief. And this is basically round 2. So you know, get your gloves on, get your mouth guard, and get ready, because it gets intense again. So let's go for it.
The Dalton Police Department is an excellent police department. I'm a 28-year veteran of this police department. I am very proud of them. So anytime we get attacked, I take it personal. There were some things that were brought up in reference to a carjacking that occurred at the gas station, the Amico gas station, I believe it was, this weekend. The young lady said that she was carjacked. She was not carjacked. She left her keys in the vehicle, went inside the gas station. Somebody, crime of opportunity, guess what they did? They jumped in her car and took it. So it wasn't a carjacking like it was put out on Facebook or wherever else it was put out. It was basically an incident that could have been avoided, and it was not because of negligence on that person's part. I also would like to thank the Dalton Police Department, because what they do because they love the job, they love the badge, and they love the people. Too many times they talk about what the police department's not doing, but let me say this. If you don't know the facts, don't get on TV and say something. And the reason why is because what you're doing is you're putting out false narratives. The people in town deserve to be safe. They deserve to feel safe. And it also puts my officers in jeopardy when the truth is not put out. Unfortunately, there were those that got on TV and said certain things were not true. I'm not going to go into them, but what I will say, in order for us to operate a police department, you can't cut $1 million out of the budget of the police department and expect to get the services that the village of Dalton and the residents deserve.
Now, once again, this is the person that Henyard put into this seat. This is her minion. And for him to sit there and say, oh, you took out $1 million from their budget, the $1 million that he's talking about is they went from $600,000 to $1.6 million for police overtime. They are cutting out a $1 million of your overtime. That is what they are doing. Because of Tiffany Henyard's, I gotta have police escort. And if you don't believe me, listen to this.
Overtime police before this administration that did not have security details following them around everywhere, overtime was at $600,000 maximum every year. This administration is at 1.6 million. How are we going to get service? We need the mayor to stop spending money irresponsibly. That's where the reductions came, is off of all of the all the expenses that were not necessary until this one came in. And she even said in here, oh man, forget that, I'm gonna double it.
Yep. They deserve better than what they've been getting. It's unfortunate that politics are being played, but what has happened is $1 million out of my budget has been cut because of politics. And what happens when you do that, you cut the services of the village, of the people. Do I sound upset? Yes, I am. Because you know what? For those that live in town, they expect those same services. But when you get up here and you play politics, what ends up happening is you don't get what you say you should get, but then you can make comments about it. Our police department is an outstanding police department. I had a chance to go to other police departments. I chose to stay in Dalton because I love Dalton and I love the community. But what I will say is if you want us to function as a police department, don't cut our budget. Because that same money that you're cutting is the same money we need to operate, from contracts to employees to equipment. And when you have equipment, not all equipment is new. You still have old equipment. And that needs to be maintained to keep the budget. So the only thing I'm saying to you is when it comes down to it, and please forgive me if I sound upset, because I am. When I took this seat, when I was honored to take this seat and given this seat, I found out more things than I had ever found out. But I don't play politics, not with the residents of Dalton, not with my police officers. So the money that was taken out of the budget, put it back. Don't say that you are for the police department and you're taken away from the police department. It doesn't work like that. Our lives are on there. We're the ones running to the gunshots and the bullets when things happen. I'm proud of my police department. and I'm gonna continue to be proud of my police department. And the only thing I'm asking is you support my police department. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
All right, that was a bunch of word salad. In a nutshell, he's mad because he has to say those words. He is now Tiffany Henyard's little minion of the police department, and the chief that she fired wasn't okay with it, and he probably said it, and that's why he got fired. And now he's taking that position, and if he wants to keep that position, he's got to keep it. He's got to say all the right things at the right time, and this is more proof of it. Let's keep going.
But at what point, as leaders, do we have a conviction about taking care of the people's business? Because that's why we're here. That's why you were elected. That's why I'm here. I was hired here. I don't care about the politics when it comes down to this simple thing. There are people in their homes who need the services. And to Stacey Carell's point, need the money. We have the money.
I was not awarded yet.
I was not awarded yet.
Because the money haven't came in yet for $9.2 million here at Thornton Township and $6.8 million for the village of Dalton. Once they release the funds will come down and we will create programs for our community.
Our mayor goes and gets the money, but we play these nickel-dime games with real people's lives. Please, people, let's do what's necessary so that we can satisfy the needs of our people, so that we can move Dalton forward, not backwards. So with that being said, I'll give my report. Very sad that our numbers are down. We just got ink for machines because trustees, aside from Trustee Holmes and Trustee Stan Brown, want to agree.
Order.
No, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. And you can laugh at that, but you tell me, okay, you tell me what has been done. What have you done as a trustee since you've been here? Not what I've done, okay, because I hold myself accountable. So I go hard, you know why? Because there's people's lives are at stake. And if you don't go hard, then you have to question your conviction, because I know what mine are. Be encouraged. We have a lot more work to do. While they're talking, we're working.
That's right.
So I appreciate you for the opportunity.
Yep.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Next, we have code enforcement. Kim.
Madam Mayor.
Yeah.
Can I address something?
Oh, go ahead.
A minute ago or a second ago, something was said, go hard or go home. Trustee, guess what? It's not about that. It's about the services for the people of Dalton. So when you say that and you get your laughs, I get it. But let me tell you something. When you call for a squad car, if you call for one, you want that car to show up. But if they don't have the funding to do it, or if you're taking something from them, what do you expect them to do? Now we can go back and forth. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the people. So I took that personally when you said that. What you need to do is take care of the people, not your personal business.
Amen.
Not the fact that you don't like the mayor. Because let me tell you something. It ain't about the mayor because she's about the people. I'm here. I'm about the people. I could have walked away a long time ago. Let me finish. I'm out here at 2, 3 in the morning when I don't have to be. My guys are working hard when they don't have to. They can go somewhere else. They choose to stay here. So don't say go hard and go home. What I need you to do is just vote for what we need.
Can I respond?
You sure
I mean,
can.
since you made a statement, can I respond? I said go hard or go home because, of course, everybody was prepped to say whatever they had to say today. But let me speak to say this. When we talk about what we not doing, trustees don't walk around with video cameras and drones showing every move they make. They don't have the resources that somebody else have on the taxpayers' dime to show everything they doing. These people sit up here talking about we ain't did nothing when all they're doing is listening to what somebody told them. For somebody to sit here and say the resources that we're taking away, for one, we have exceeded and over exceeded the budget that was initially put in. And so when we're getting emails talking about the cars being repossessed, and then somebody sitting here talking about that they know the money is there, I have a problem with that. Then when you bring the issue to, everybody knows that police is very valuable. But when you're saying you hear 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you hear because you understaffed. You're understaffed because don't nobody want to work in Dalton. So when we talk about, yes, the police, they are doing their job. When I called you, you came immediately. So I've never said that. But at the same time, when something is happening, y'all have to stop saying it's politics. It's not politics. This is reality. Have you looked at the bank account lately? Do you know how much money is in there? Because I don't understand why a resident is coming telling us that we owe her $500 from 5 months ago. So have you looked in the bank account?
So let me say this. Let me say this, and then I'm gonna leave it alone because we can go back and forth.
We don't have
No,
to.
no. Let me finish, trustee.
We don't.
Okay. Because when you say that, guess what? Because you said we're understaffed. We're understaffed because guess what? We're not at comparable salaries for a police officer coming here. Okay. I'll let you talk. We're understaffed because every time you get up here, you, Trustee House, Trustee Brown, Trustee Norwood, get up here and say no to something to be said yes. Okay. You talk about that, guess what? The bank account. But the money that goes into the bank account or could go to the bank account, you vote down. So don't tell me that the money ain't there. I'm telling you what my guys are doing.
Okay.
They are risking their lives for something that can be settled right here in this room.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying to you.
That's fine.
So when you say that and you get on TV and you say what you say, don't do that.
And anything I said, I will
Trustee,
repeat.
let them finish.
Don't do that. You know
Okay.
why? Because it not only hampers the investigation, it puts my guys at
Yep.
risk.
Okay.
Yep. Facts.
Okay. So only thing I'm saying to you is if you want to make a difference, don't make it personal because you're making it personal against the mayor.
This not personal.
Let me finish because you just talked about all the TV stuff.
Mhm.
Guess what? She's not doing anything that hasn't been done. We don't talk about the other communities to where, guess what? They have multiple shootings. Kind of like the same shooting that just happened up at AutoZone. Happened in Richmond Park, but you never heard of it
Yep.
because you're always attacking the mayor.
Yep.
So don't tell me it's not
Facts.
personal because it is. Because if it wasn't personal, you would support what's going on.
Yep.
And if I offend you, please forgive me. But let's talk real. Vote for what is right, not for what you want.
I'm not offended at all. And thank you so much.
This is all right. Go ahead, Lacey.
Madam Mayor, I just want to address something that Trustee House said in reference to the email that you got. So you say as far as vehicles being repossessed, there are no Dalton vehicles being repossessed. I know exactly who you're talking to. And guess what? It's been taken care of. I got a whole armory of ammunition with not a bill. So it's been taken care of. So I don't know where you're getting your information from or who's emailing you, but I have no problem with sitting down with you and saying, guess what? This is what's going on. But you won't do it because guess what? It's fact. So anytime you want to sit down with me to find out what's going on with the police department, trustee, I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it. But don't sit up here and say what's going on as far as the police department without a false narrative. That's all I'm saying.
Well, thank you for that. I also emailed that to the finance director, village administrator. So this is the first update I've got. So I thank you.
Wow. You know what? But see, here's a problem. This could have been taken care of before you got here.
If I would have got a response, it would have been
you chose to wait in front of the people. You chose to wait. I'm sorry. Did you just
let them finish? Let them finish. Come on. Let them finish.
You chose to get to a board meeting, and put it in front of the people, and you got everybody laughing and think it's cute. It's not cute. You're not going to put my guys in jeopardy. I'm going to tell you right now, because the police department is the heart of this village. Because when something happens, guess what? You call in the police department. If you don't need the police department, don't call. But don't sit up here and say, guess what? What's not being done? That's done. And if you want proof, I have no problem with it. But sit down and talk to me. Don't get in front of a board meeting and say what you say. That's all I'm saying. Get your facts straight first before you come to a board meeting.
If I can get a response, then
No.
I would not make a statement.
And I get that part. But you know what? You can also get a response from me, the head of the department, that can give you the information that you need.
Future emails.
Okay.
I need to be recognized.
All right, go ahead.
Let me first start off by saying, Mayor, that's the issue that we have. You say out your mouth, oh, you don't say what you said. It's not your job to tell me what to say. 22,000 residents, when they voted, they gave me permission to say whatever I decide to say in this seat. And that's what you do not understand. You sit up here with these smoke and mirrors. This is not a dictatorship. You're not Putin, and this is not Russia. This is a democracy. That's why we are here. You say, oh, me and my people in the back, we do this, we do that. They don't do anything. They don't do anything. First off, our job is legislation, because I know someone asked about our job. Our job, could you let me finish more? Because I'm right now is not the time. Let me finish. So, as the legislative branch, our job is to oversee the finances and to create ordinances. That's our job. So first, when you all sit up here and say, oh, well, you all voted no for this, you all voted no for that, that's our job. That is what the people elected us to sit up here and do, to monitor the finances, because they know, the government know that there may be people like you who sit up here and just spend all willy-nilly without the board's discretion. That's why we put ordinances in place. You say, oh, well, what about the money? What about the money? Our job is to oversee the finances. But yet, I have an email here where Trustee House is asking, hey, guys, we haven't received the financial report since September. Hey, guys, we haven't received credit card statements, so we don't know what's been spent since June of 2023. This is almost a whole nother year. Payroll reports. We haven't received the payroll report since December. So when we talk about what we're doing, this is what we are here to do. At the end of the day, when they say, oh, well, put this back in the budget, put that back in the budget. First off, they don't even follow the budget, because if they did, we wouldn't be $7 million in debt if they did. If we did, we wouldn't have the mayor spending an overtime of a whole entire $1 million. We're talking about the police. We're not saying the police is not doing a good job. What we're saying is you're assigning all of them to be with you when they should be out here protecting the residents so we can all feel safe. So you sit here and say, oh, well, we did give them the paperwork. Why would we be in court demanding to receive paperwork in which we received? That's the thing. When she sit here and she say, oh, they're lying, they're lying. So what do? We went on YouTube and provided receipts. People love the receipts so much because now they can see who was lying and who was telling the truth. But what did our administration do at that point? Cut off access. So now we can't see credit card statements. We don't know what's being spent. We talk about what's scary. You know what's scary to me as a trustee who had the people elect me to do this job? What's scary is not how much is in our bank account. That's scary. Not knowing what position our deficit is in. When we last checked, it was a $7 million deficit in September. So let's talk about facts. You sit up here and you demean us all day like you have children up here, and which you do not. Do your job. Be a great leader. Talk to your board. You all say, oh, well, they want to prove this. They don't know what's going on. How about it's your job to be a good leader and tell us? That's your job. We shouldn't have to call you every meeting. Call my phone. Call my phone. How about you be a good leader? Bring RFPs to the forefront. So not just us, but the residents and everybody else in America know how the money is being spent. But residents, if she loves you so much, why won't she present the RFPs for the board? Because that's all we're asking for. We're saying, hey, spend the money, get the services, but let's get the best bang for our services. Why are we paying $10,000 for a tree that costs $1,000? But she say kickbacks. Who's receiving the real kickbacks? And that's why we are asking for receipts. Show us the information. Give us the facts. You sit up here, you talk about what we're doing, what we're not doing. Just do your job. Don't worry about my job. My job is to sit up here and do what the residents elected me to do. The resident email us and say, oh, well, Public Works is being informed by the mayor to tell us that we haven't paid the light company, so residents can't have lights on their block. But then she also stated that, oh, she drive down Sibley and she see that the whole Sibley is lit up in Christmas ornaments. So we don't have the money to fix these residents' lights. Their safety is not a priority. What's the priority? The lights. So we can look as if the job is being done in Dalton. But when deep down inside, we're overpaying for services, all of the services. We're in a deficit. So
okay, trustee, we got to reel it in. We got to reel it in.
So like I stated, have her talk the facts while she's up here with these smoke and mirrors. Have her show you the information. Why she can't put it on the website? Why you all can't see it? She sits up here and say every time, oh, we're not in a deficit. Prove it to us. They say, oh, you all cut off the credit cards. Trustee Belcher said, can you show us where we cut off the credit cards? We have our finance director said, oh yeah, I have it. Can we have it sent to us? Why don't we have this information? Why are we asking for information that's supposed to be provided? So again, I'm going to say one last time, This is our job. And until my seat is up next year, whether win or lose, that is what I'm going to do. So if I see charges being overcharged for, no, I'm not going to vote on it. So tell your mayor to bring the RFPs in front of the board, and let's do this like a regular government should, and say, hey, John wants to pay this much. This person wants this much. What should we do, board? That's what you call inclusiveness, working together. But yet she wants to do everything alone and then sit up here and say they're not doing anything. And at the end of the day, we're supposed to be a team. Thank you.
All right. Real quick. Ron, you back there? Just stand up for me real quick. Stand up for me real quick. Stand up. I just need a yes or no. Do we do RFP and bids? Yes or no? Thank you. So stop. Get your facts. Hold on. Hold on. That's it. That's it. You can sit down. I'm going to go to the next people because I just hate that they laugh so much up here. But anyway, go ahead, Stacy. Go ahead. You got the floor, Stacy.
As it relates to lights,
over.
I don't know if anybody can recall 5-6 months ago, the bills were not being paid, which created a situation to where everything bagged up. Services do not stop because bills did not get paid. The services will continue to roll and accumulate more debt as we go. We have to service the community. As it relates to whatever you may see on Sibley, those are two separate things. Our lights and our holiday decorations are two different things. If we would pay the bills in a timely fashion, we would not be behind with these vendors. They would still be working. It's only because the bills weren't paid for 5 months and then randomly started back paying them. 8 months.
Can I please say one thing? It's not what we are saying, it's what the residents are telling us. Residents are calling, telling us that they're being told that the bill is not paid because the trustee didn't vote on it. Who don't pay their light bill? Who don't pay their gas bill?
Trustees.
You gotta pay the necessary thing to keep your house functioning. So that's the same thing you do here. You pay the necessity things that needs to run your household. And then when you get up here and say respect is earned. It's not just given. You want respect, you give respect. You want to be disrespected, then you do the things you do now. I don't sit up here and go with the back and forth. I'm gonna say what I gotta say and keep it moving. And as far as some of these folks sit up here and say, call me. You can't call them because they ain't gonna give you a damn answer. You can't call them. You need services for the residents. You can't get no service for the residents because they don't return your damn call. So while we sit up here going back and forth, tell the damn truth. We sit up here every month and do the same crap every month, back and forth. You want this crap to stop? Let everybody sit down at the table and hash your mess out. Stop getting up here and then say, oh, well, no, the trustee didn't call me. Hell, I can't call you because you don't return my phone call. You call me. You can't call me. If I need, I'll call you. I haven't needed you yet, so I haven't called you. But I have some people I have called. No, they have not returned my phone call. So you want to get up here and say that how people get all bent out of shape because the lies go back and forth. I don't have to lie. As I said before and I said it again. I don't have to sit up here and lie. Vendors are not being paid. The emails I sent, I got to go by. You want to see it? Come and see me. I say that every cracking damn month, and nobody comes and see it. It's a doggone shame. 3 years, and you still have the same damn thing when you came in. This crap needs to stop. It's ridiculous. You sit up here and go back and forth, and all the lies being told. Yes, they are telling the lies. Administrator, you email him, you don't get nothing back.
Man, you need to
so don't come up here and tell me talking about somebody email you. I'm gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
You gotta say something.
I'm gonna say what I want to say.
The devil is a lie, man. You gotta stop tripping.
You're a lie.
I don't even know
you.
you.
And send an email, and then
I haven't even sent anything to you. I don't know you. I don't even know you.
Okay.
You sit up here and tell lies.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Order. Okay. Order. Let's go back. All right. I'm going to say this. It's amazing that everybody got so much to say that don't even read their emails. Tammy, trustee Tammy, right? You said you don't even read your emails. So who told you to say all of that? But it's okay. So we're going to move on. And that's why I was trying to tell Trustee House when he started all this to keep going and go on to the bills. But it is a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Is there a second?
It's been so much. Clerk, could you tell us what we vote on?
Second. All right. It's a motion and a second. Okay.
Wait, let the clerk tell us what we vote on.
Oh, yeah. You got to remember.
So there was 2 motions on the floor. Initially, Trustee Stan Brown motion to pay the electronic warrant list and Holmes second. So trustee House superseded that motion. So is that what we're voting on now?
Correct.
Okay. So who motioned and who seconded?
And it's to remove the vendors that he said. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, call her out.
So
move
I
on.
need to know who motioned and who seconded.
Just said it.
Thank you. I'm talking to her. Okay, trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stan Brown.
No.
Trustee Tammy Brown.
Aye.
Trustee House.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
No.
Trustee Belcher.
Aye.
Motion passed.